All right, let's talk about respect. Ever wonder how some people just command it the moment they walk into a room? Well, today we're going to break down the psychology behind it and give you a real actionable playbook to change how people see you, and fast.
You know the feeling, right? You're in a meeting, you share what you think is a brilliant idea, and crickets. Just silence. Then, like 5 minutes later, someone else says basically the exact same thing, and suddenly everyone's like, wow, what a great idea. It is so frustrating, and it can make you feel completely invisible. But here's the thing, it's usually not about how good your ideas are. It's about something else entirely.
And that something else is the invisible signals you're sending out. See, without even realizing it, we can project this vibe of low confidence or low status that just causes other people to unconsciously tune us out.
A lot of the time, the problem isn't that people are trying to be disrespectful. The real issue is that we are literally sabotaging ourselves. We all have these tiny, subtle habits in how we talk and how we carry ourselves that basically broadcast to the world, hey, you don't really need to take me seriously.
Here are two perfect examples. First, using the word but right after an apology. When you say, I'm sorry, but, you're not really apologizing, are you? You're basically making an excuse. It totally cancels out the sorry. And second, just not responding when someone else is talking. If you're just sitting there with a blank face, not nodding, not smiling, giving zero feedback, it sends a signal of disrespect. And guess what? People tend to give back the same level of respect they get.
So how do we fix this? Well, it all starts with understanding a little bit about the psychology of how we communicate. Generally, there are three main styles. You've got passive, you've got aggressive, and then you've got the one we're aiming for, assertive.
Okay, so on one side of the spectrum, you've got the passive style. This is basically sending the message that, hey, my thoughts and feelings don't really matter as much as yours. You avoid conflict like the plague, and by doing that, you're basically giving everyone else permission to walk all over you. On the total opposite end, you've got the aggressive style. This is the bully who just steamrolls people to get their way. It might seem like it works in the short run, but it absolutely destroys trust and makes people resent you. Neither of these is going to earn you any real lasting respect.
And that brings us to the sweet spot, the healthy middle ground, assertiveness. Now, this is not about being pushy or obnoxious. It's a diplomatic style, and it's built on a foundation of mutual respect. It sends two clear messages at the same time. I respect myself and my own needs, and I also respect you and your needs. This right here is the bedrock of earning genuine respect.
And the benefits? Oh, they are huge. When you really start to master assertiveness, you don't just earn respect from other people. You gain so much self-confidence. You become a way better communicator. You start finding these win-win situations everywhere. Even your decision-making gets sharper. It's like a complete upgrade for your entire social operating system.
Okay, so you're sold on the idea. But how do we actually do this stuff? Let's open up the assertiveness playbook and look at some practical moves, starting with the words we use.
We're going to start with two of the most powerful verbal techniques you can put into practice, like today. First, using I statements to take ownership of your perspective. And second, and this is a big one for a lot of us, is just getting comfortable with saying the word no.
This is such a perfect illustration of what I statements do. Think about it. When you say, you're wrong, it's an attack. It's an accusation. And it immediately puts the other person on the defensive. But when you say, I disagree, what are you saying? You're stating your perspective. It's not an attack on them. It's just a fact about you. It is so much harder to argue with and way more respectful.
Oh man, this is so crucial. So many of us feel like we owe the world a 5-page essay explaining why we can't do something, but you don't. No is a complete sentence. You have every right to protect your own time and your own energy without having to justify it to anyone. Being direct, clear, and brief actually shows that you value your own boundaries, which in turn makes others value them too.
But look, earning respect isn't just about what you say. It's also about what you don't say. Your nonverbal cues, your body language, are screaming a message whether you like it or not.
Seriously, think about it. Before you even open your mouth to say hello, people have already made a snap judgment about you based on your posture, your eye contact, your whole presence. The way you carry yourself can either make your words 10 times more powerful, or it can completely drain them of all their impact.
So, the goal is to adopt assertive body language. Simple stuff, really. Stand or sit up straight instead of slouching. Make regular, steady eye contact. It shows confidence in that you're engaged. Keep your facial expression neutral or positive. Try not to cross your arms. It's a classic defensive posture. And when you're listening, actually show it. Nod your head, smile a little. These tiny adjustments broadcast confidence and respect.
And hey, let's not forget about what you're wearing. This isn't new. Throughout all of human history, clothing has been one of the main ways people communicate their wealth, their power, their social standing. Your clothes are part of the signal you're sending about who you are and how you expect to be treated. Okay, final section. We've covered the verbal and the nonverbal. Now for the master level. How do you communicate your expertise and your credibility without sounding like a total braggart?
This right here is the secret sauce. See, people have this built-in braggart alarm bell. If it sounds like you're just talking about how great you are, that alarm goes off, and they immediately start to tune you out and distrust you. So the trick is to get your credibility across in a way that doesn't set off that alarm.
And there are two brilliant, almost sneaky ways to pull this off. First, you can frame your accomplishments in the third person. And second, you can tell a great story where your expertise just happens to be part of the background.
Just look at this comparison. If you say, "I've been teaching this for 10 years, it can sound a little braggy. But if someone reads in a bio, "She has been teaching presentation skills for 10 years, it just sounds like a fact. It feels objective, even if you're the one who wrote the bio. It's a subtle shift, but it completely bypasses that braggart alarm. The story method is just as clever. Instead of just listing your achievements, you tell a really compelling story. Maybe about a time you overcame a huge challenge on a project. The story's what hooks the listener, but the fact that you led that project just kind of slips into their brain as an established fact, not as a brag. It's brilliant.
So, when we put all these pieces together, the one crucial thing to remember is this. You cannot demand respect. It doesn't work that way. It has to be earned. And you earn it through the conscious, intentional signals you choose to send out, with your words, with your body, and with how you present your own value to the world.
It really all comes down to small, consistent actions that you take every day. So I want to leave you with this question. Looking at everything we just talked about, from using I statements to just standing up a little straighter, which single signal will you consciously start sending today to start getting the respect you absolutely deserve?